Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well. So to my new subscribers, to my old subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. I appreciate it so much. I love you guys. So to my new subscribers or to my new viewers, if you are new in here, my name is Rubamat. I almost share everything that I think it will be helpful: makeup, beauties, food. So if you are interested to my channel, subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. So in today's video, as you guys can see, I'll be preparing fish stew. I also added some cow skin in it, and it's so delicious. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'll be using cow skin, which I've already cooked, and I'm using one large fish because my stew will not be much, so that is why I'm using this quantity of fish, and also willy. So I'm now seasoning my fish with some curry powder, salt to taste, cumin powder, fish powder, some pepper. I'm talking about dry chili powder. So I'll be adding some onion powder and garlic powder and ginger powder as well. After I added everything in the fish, I had some leftover spices, which I'll be setting it aside. I'll be putting it in the stew later on when I am preparing it. So when you guys see some spices on the plate, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna use it. So the dry rosemary, which is in the plate, I'm not using it on the fish. I'll be putting it in the stew. After adding all my spices on my fish, I'll be stirring it, or I'll be mixing it very well so that all the spices can enter everywhere. So I'll be marinating this fish for about 30 minutes, but if you have time, you can marinate it for an hour so that the spices can enter into the fish very well, but 30 minutes is enough. So guys, now I'll be putting it aside, like I said earlier, to marinate. Instead of me waiting doing nothing, I'll go ahead to prepare the rest of the ingredients which I'll be using in the stew. So I slice my onions, which I'll be using it to garnish my stew, which is optional, but when you do it this way, when the onion is crispy in the stew, I love it so much. So now I'm preparing the other ingredients which I'll be blending, which is my tomatoes in a can, some onions, some garlic, dry rosemary. I'll be adding it here also, and after that I'll be adding it also in the stew, and I added in some red paprika. So that's it. So lovely people, now I have my cooking pan on the fire, which I've already added in some oil. I used the oil last time to fry my chicken, so I'm just using it to fry my fish, which is not bad. So that is why you guys can see the chicken spices under the oil, which is not very bad. So I sprinkle some flour into my oil just to make my fish crispier. Some few minutes later, I'll be flipping my fish to the other side so that I can achieve that golden color which I have ongoing here. So that is what I'm doing. I'll be leaving it to fry for another 3 to 5 minutes, I might say, but you have to keep your eye on it because fish can get burned very easily. So now that it's ready, I'm taking them out and I'll be replacing them on kitchen paper. Wow, just look at that golden color, and it's also full of flavor, guys. Now that my fish is ready, I'll go ahead and start preparing my stew. So first of all, I'll be adding in some sunflower oil into my cooking pan. You can choose either to use coconut oil, olive oil, the choice is yours. So now, as you guys can see, I'm adding my chopped onions. I think I use one large onion. Yes. So stir it very well for about 2 minutes, I might say. I think I'm missing some parts over here. After that I added in my tomato puree, which was about 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I missed that part because I think my camera in any way stopped recording. So that is what I added. So this is onions and tomato puree. So don't be confused. I'll be frying this together for about 3 minutes just to cook the puree very well. Now it's time for me to add my blended ingredients, which I blended earlier, which is my onions, tomatoes in the can, some garlic, some ginger, dry rosemary, and red paprika. After adding it, I'll be stirring it thoroughly. After that, I'll be covering it for it to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. But be stirring it from time to time, especially when your cooking pot is not non-stick. After 5 minutes, I stirred it again and I realized that I'm missing another part of the video again, which is the leftover spices which I used on my fish. So this is the beginning of the video. The spices I spiced with my fish, the leftover I added it into my stew, which is the onion powder, the garlic powder, the curry powder, cumin powder, and dry rosemary. I added 1 Maggi cube. I also added 1.5 shrimp seasoning. I noticed I had less oil in my stew. I don't like too much oil in the stew, but it was totally less. So I added for about 2 tablespoons of the oil into the stew, and I'll cover it for it to cook again for about 15 to 20 minutes. But don't forget, while cooking it for that 15 to 20 minutes, you need to be stirring it from time to time. Next, I'm adding in my cow skin, which was already cooked. And after that, I'll add my fried fish, which I fried earlier. So I'm adding it now, and I'll let the stew cook for another 15 minutes so that I can get all the sauce, all the tomato sauce, the taste, the flavor, I mean every good thing from the stew into my fish and into my wele. Yeah, that is the cow skin. So as you guys can see, I have less oil. It's everyone's preference. I love stew with less oil. I'll be adding in a little bit of salt because I tasted it and the salt was a little bit less. And so whilst the stew is cooked or ready, some oil will appear on top of your stew. So bear in mind in adding some extra oil in the stew. As for me, like I said earlier, I don't want too much oil in the stew. So as you guys can see, before it was less oil, but now that my stew is ready, now you guys can see some oil on top. So now I'll be adding in the onion I sliced earlier, which I'll be using it to garnish my stew. Not only garnish, but I prefer and I enjoy my stew this way. So I added in my onions and I'll let it cook for another 3 minutes. I'm not cooking it till the onions get soft. No, I want the onions to be crispy in the stew. That is what I'm talking about. So now my stew is done, And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below if you want to see any recipe from me. Share this video to your loved ones. Don't be stingy watching it alone. And I hope you try this recipe out. It's very easy as well. So this is how it looks at the end. It's all ready to be enjoyed. You know what I mean? So guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Should in case each time I upload a video, you will be the first to know. Don't forget to comment down below if you have any question, and I'll definitely see you in my next one. Bye.